Good morning, my friends. How you doing? Okay. All right, dear volunteers of this planet Earth and dear families. So my name is Goiana Ferreira. I'm from the Clean Water and Peace Organization, and we are learning how to have better practices for the animals as well, the animals that live here on our planet, right? And I need the help of all of you so we can do a very positive work. So some animals, they are not needed anymore. We do not need them anymore on our planet. Or because they're too ugly, or because they're too harmful, or because they're not positive or not sustainable. Okay? And some other animals, they need to evolve spiritually. So they have to born as humans the best as possible and as soon as possible so they can learn good things, practice, and evolve spiritually as all of us. Okay? So I'm going to tell you all the animals, and don't have the complete list here, but I'm going to already say the ones I have, and I will let you know, give you a better list afterwards. So the way I found that's the best way for everyone to really understand and be clear to everyone, it's they will be added to extinction list. That's the best way. Because along the years, many people spend a lot of money for animals that were on extinction list naturally. And they didn't understand that when we do that, that's not good. Because it's nature saying that that animal is not needed anymore. For all those animals that were going to extinction list, right? Naturally. Okay? So we have to renew that and have a different concept. Oh, let's save this, let's save that. We don't need those things anymore. Okay? We have to understand things in a better way. Okay, they need to evolve spiritually, so that's done. Let's pray for them. So they really start dying, and for some we're really going to get and kill them, right? In a good way, with good prayers, but they have to born. In other animals that have 4 legs, so they can evolve spiritually, and as soon as possible, born as humans. Okay, the animals that are closest to the human practices, they can already born. So when people gonna go to the oceans and all these other animals that I'm saying here from our list in different countries, go and do your prayers. Do your prayers with confidence, because you're going in groups, everything will be properly organized. Do your prayers, and if the animal like reptiles, you don't need many types of reptiles. For what reason? Okay, so let's do our prayers for them to be extinct and end, and for the mammals, for them to born in humans as soon as possible. And you're going to invite them to be kind. Okay, so the animals that are too ferocious, we are not inviting them to born as humans right now. Oops. First they can born in kind animals, and then they can born as humans. I think that's reasonable. So let's invite the ones that already are kind to born as humans, because that's what we need, and gonna be easy for them and for us to receive them as humans. Number 1, that I already said, is for the farm animals. We're not going to have any farm animal anywhere. Okay, they're all gonna be gone. Even those that live in the wild, like some types of goats and things like that, mountain goats and so on. All of them gonna be gone. We don't need them. The only exception, 4 of them, is chickens, for our own consumption of eggs, right? And we can eat chicken as well, that's fine. Ducks, because in some countries they might be more, they might be stronger. And horses, only in some countries where we have carnivores that will get and eat the weak ones, and some rabbits. I still think about rabbits if that's the best option, but I will give details about rabbits afterwards. Okay, so now let's talk about number 2, all wild animals. Okay, so the first ones, we're going to end the mammals, ocean mammals of all types and everywhere. How we are going to do that? We are going to do a very good work during the 28 weeks. So the first thing, we're going to call them, so these big fisheries, these ships, and with these huge nets, they're going to be useful for something and for this work. So what are they going to do? We are going to send volunteers that have strength to pray and call them for where the net of these ships are located. So we're going to do a very good work. So people that already know how to manage or can learn fast how to manage those ships, they will be going. Okay, so once some places, are too far away, and it's hard for people to come back on a same period, right? Go and come back in the morning, go and come back in the afternoon, but we are going to do the best we can. And we can also have people young couples that just married, didn't have their own babies yet, right? Or elders, we can do that too, elders that are not going to adopt. So we can do this work. All right. So, or, of course, for the families that can have their children as soon as the schools are open, right, have their children the whole day. So they will leave 7 o'clock in the morning, come back at 5. That will be reasonable as well. Okay, so we are going to pray for them. So for all these ocean mammals, we're going to pray and call them and call all of them, including the white polar bears. Yes, it's too cold over there, it's not needed. These animals, we need to give them a chance to renew in life and born in better animals, in warmer countries, and have a better life, have more opportunity to evolve spiritually. Okay, so at the end, I'm going to be saying how you're going to do prayers for all these different animals. But that's how we're going to do for the ocean, okay? All right, so we are going to put on extinction list all of the animals that I'm going to list here now. So from the taxonomic groups, we have the Kataka, there are the dolphins, whales, porpoises, and so on. And then we have the orders of Sirenia, are the sea cows, manatees, dugongs, all of them. And then we have the carnivora, that are the carnivores, and the pinnipeds, that are the seals, sea lions, and walruses. Okay, so basically it's that. Oh, and we also have the fiscipeds, that are the polar bears and sea otters and all of them. Okay, all right, so all these animals I just said, we're going to call them and get them, and of course we have to kill them, and so they can born again in better animals. So, all right, so all of them. And I'm going now to see a list of other animals that are also part of the wild animals, right, that we don't need them anymore. Okay, so those are the penguins. They cannot fly. Why we need a bird that cannot fly in a freezing area working so hard to keep their eggs alive. And one bird goes, get fish and bring back. The other one hold the egg, and the other go. It's make no sense to have penguins in our planet. Make no sense. We have to call them. They have to die and born in other birds, right? We need chickens, so they're closer to us, right? Having good positive days, right? And it's good for us as well, so we can have eggs to eat, because of the organic gardens, eggs will be a good thing. So let's end penguins, my friends, in our planet, because they're really not needed. Also sharks, piranhas, and crocodiles, alligators, we have way too many. They're not needed, okay? So also the meerkats, these little rats, right? Sloth. Why we need sloth? We don't need sloth in this planet. We really don't. Ostrich, that's another bird that cannot fly. We don't need such a bird. It's not kind, it's not useful, and it's, we can't have communication with them. Like for the chickens, good. We can, be close to them and call them, and they know we're there and give food, and they also can forage themselves, right? So that's what we need, not ostriches. So we also don't need mammals that lay eggs. That we still have are the monotremes, that we have two of them. Imagine mammals that lay eggs. One of them is the spiny anteater and the platypus, and we also have the echidna. So, there are 5 different types of mammals that lay eggs. So they're in Australia, Tasmania, and New Guinea. We also don't need giraffes. We don't. We really don't. Elephants, hippos, bats, turtles, tortoise, rhinos, hyenas. None of those we need. We don't need gorillas, baboons. We don't need them. We have to renew nature. I don't even know how this happened, that those animals are still alive, because the humans are attached to animals that, they already completed their objective in this planet, and some of them we don't even know how they were created by nature, right? Because for a long time nature hasn't been really careful about those things, because many animals, as I said, we don't need them anymore. Okay, we also don't need llamas, alpacas, all these big animals to provide wool, because they're too big, not needed, not sustainable. Okay? Now, for the sake of our humanity, that we have to think, right? So we have here, because I said rabbits, right? For that might be one of the animals that we might keep, and sheep, but not llamas and alpacas. The sheep, it's one to be considered because of the wool, right? And for cold countries, because right now we can have synthetic blankets that for sure can last many, many decades and be washed over and over again, and cotton as well. But I'm still not 100% sure. And we have to be 100% sure for everything we do. So the sheep and the rabbits, we wait a little longer, okay? Because it might be useful because of the wool in cold countries. So instead of taking skin from rabbits, that is really not, very good idea. So let's see and how we get that. But for sure, not the big animals, okay? Okay, so we are also not going to have kangaroos, dromedary, and camels. They are not needed, not sustainable, so all of them are also on extinction list. So for all the animals that I'm saying, because some people, right, in some countries eat one thing, don't eat the other, but where they want to eat, they can eat, that's fine. That's fine, because we are going, before we kill them, we're going to do proper prayers, right? And after we kill, the spirit of these animals are not there anymore. So some countries they eat dogs, some countries they don't eat dogs, some countries they eat cows, some countries they don't eat cows, and like that goes. The main thing is for us to free these animals, my friends. We have to free our animals because they're trapped in cultural beliefs that are not good. How a cow is sacred in India and walks in the street and eat trash. So things like that, for us to think, that some things became part of cultural practices, and they're really not good, not positive. And some people, oh no, you're gonna kill a dolphin, a whale, oh goodness. But we have to free them, my friends. We have to free them. And the nature will take care itself to have large, regular fish, but no sharks, no dolphins, no whales. We don't need those animals. Turtles. Why we need turtles for? Not in rivers and not in oceans. We don't need. So from now on, all our rules and regulations gonna be to put all these animals in extinction list. For example, all those eggs that are found in river, local communities can go and get them and eat them because they need eggs. People need eggs because in some countries you can take one, can't take the other, depends on the type, right, of turtle. So, but it's very easy. They can see the scratch on the sand and on the ocean as well. Why we need turtles? Because many die right there at the beach already. Before they reach the water on the first days of life, they already die. Right? They're too tiny. We have many predators and they're gone. So, we just have to improve our rules and guidelines of all countries so we can be better. Okay, so now let's say some words about the carnivores, right? The carnivores that are good looking, they can stay. Okay, such as lions, tigers, okay? Not that we're going to protect them. One day they're gone. Because if they have animals to eat, they will survive. If they don't, they don't. Because we are growing more and more agroforestries, right? For example, in the savannah and all these places, we are not going to have those big animals anymore, right? And they are not needed. So naturally, this is something that's going to happen naturally. Nature will take care of it. So, for example, there are people like very concerned about the tigers and this type of that type. They are going to be extinct and this and that. No, because if they have food to eat, they will survive. If they don't, they don't. They will born in humans. That's what they need. And for all other bad-looking carnivores, yes, they're going to extinction list. The hyenas, all these bad-looking animals, we really don't need them. Okay, so let me give a proper list of reptiles because I mentioned a few, but let's mention them properly. Okay, so all of these go to extinction list. The turtles, snapping turtles of all types, Tesludines, snakes, racers, skinks, alligators, Gila monsters, tortoises, sea turtles, river turtles, crocodiles, all of them. The only ones that we can keep are the good lizards and the good anoles, right? because those, they can still eat bugs and things like that. In the woods in general, right? And for some places, some types of lizards, they're invasive because they have no predators. Okay, so those ones we are going to give details afterwards. So for each country, each county, each state, right, we are going to have detailed information of some other animals so that the list gonna be longer afterwards. I'm just giving a general list for us to see how we are going to think about animals. So for us to have an animal kingdom more clean, more organized, more useful, better for us, okay? In many different ways, also physically as well. For example, why we need hippos making a mess in the water, and then we don't have clean water. So we don't need these very big animals, elephants, we don't need them anymore. Okay? All right, so that's the way we're thinking, and that's the way we're getting better organized. And afterwards, we're going with the volunteers assistance, right? We're going to have a list. So every county of all countries will have a list with detailed information on what is related to them. So, and the list will be very specific for the types and with images, because some are similar but they're not the same, so it's very important. And some counties don't even have them, so we are going to have proper images of everyone that's on extinction list and everyone that's not, okay, that are wild animals. Now all this, it's about wild animals. Okay, so now let's say a few words on how we are going to pray for those animals. Okay, so we are going to do prayers in two different ways. One, it's when the animals, it's right there. For example, farm animals, right? And the other way, it's when we are calling the animals first in prayers. So you're calling them in prayers and then you pray them to renew. Okay, so let's start with the number one. So the animals are right there, such as farm animals. They're right there in front of you. They're close by. They can listen you, right? So that's the number one. Also, for a group of horses that will be sent to be wild horses, or for pigs, cows, bulls, right? All these other animals, they're right there, okay? And chickens that gonna be transferred, they're not going to be killed. Good chickens gonna be transferred. Okay, so you have two different ways. One, they're going to be killed and their meat will be used. And the other ones, you're gonna bring them to another location. So there are two different ones for this number one, the animals that are right there in front of you. Okay, so let's focus first on the ones that will be killed for meat or be incinerated, because we are not making huge holes in nature to put all these dead animals in it and leave them there, dripping blood. We're not doing that, okay? So they're going to be useful for something or incinerated, okay? So that's already decided. We're not going to have any other way. All right, so for the ones that will be killed for meat or incinerated, they're right in front of you. That's how we're going to do. You're going to talk to them first. Say good morning. You can say sorry that you have been here for so long. So this, you're going to be talking to cows, bulls, pigs, race horses, right? Animals that suffer in one way or another. Because race horses suffer a lot as well with their training. Chickens that will be killed, right? My main concern are the mammals, that we have to pray the best we can. There are the ones too, but it is different. Even that they have an instinct to be close to us, and when we offer food they come, but it's different than mammals. Mammals suffer the most. The cows that are trapped for milk, that's also, it's very sad for them to be in that situation. It's even worse than the animals that are there for meat, right? Because they're even taking something out of them every single day during the whole day. So it's a very sad situation that I'm really, really glad we are going to be able to have offered them a new life. That I'm really glad with that, and end animal farming. Okay, so you're gonna talk to them, say good morning, say sorry, and then you're gonna invite them. Come, let's renew. Okay? So I'm going to sing one song here just for you to have an idea, but you can plan ahead. So your sentences you can repeat 2 or 4 times. Do not repeat a sentence 3 times. Okay? So let's keep our numbers in pairs, right? Even numbers for our songs, for our prayers. And of course, you're going to use positive words. So you just write it down, some words, and you can create a few others. So it's better to have something written. Plan ahead. So you already talk to the farm owner or the farm manager. They know you're there with authorization, okay? So they can be there beside you or not. That I don't have restriction on that. They can listen how you doing, and you can plan with your spouse to sing the same exact song, or you can sing 2 or 4 sentences, and then your spouse you sing 2 or 4 sentences to make it consistent, right? The sentence that you're going to be saying, you can repeat over and over those 4-8 sentences. I think that's really a good option. Okay, so here's one idea, and you can make your own. The other thing that for your sentences, for the second sentence, also try to go higher a tone. And for the third sentences, try to have in more lower tone, not so enthusiastic tone. Okay? All right. Good morning, my friends. Good morning, my friends. We're here to help you, we're here to release you. We're here to help you, we're here to release you. Good morning, my friends. Good morning, my friends. We're here to help you, we're here to release you. We're here to help you, we're here to release you. Sorry that you're here for so long. Sorry that you're here for so long. Come, let's renew with us. Come, let's renew with us. And the fourth sentence you can repeat more times if you want. Come, let's renew with us. Come, let's renew with us. Oh, come, let's renew with us. Come, let's renew with us. Oh. us, renew with us. Come, come, my friends, renew with us. Come, come, my friends, renew with us. Oh. Okay, so this is a basic song. I'm trying to see if I can record some, but I don't have much time right now. But in the meanwhile, if you need, already start praying for them. Already start talking to the farm owners, right? For animal farm and for all these fighting animals, race animals, all these animals. It's very easy. Some countries still have zoo animals, so please, my friends, just do it. Start praying and start doing paperwork, real paperwork to end. Get people, get university students to go with you and sign and end circuses and all these farm animals and all these animals for fighting, for races and all this, okay? All right. So, and something like that you can sing, okay? And talk to them. All right. Now let's say a few words for the animals that will be transferred. So, you're going to say the same good morning, hello, right? And you're going to say, we are here to help you. That sentence you can say as well. And then you're going to say, sorry that you're here for so long, right? Avoid using the word suffering because we're already, trying to be even better. So, and then this part, the fourth sentence, come, let's renew with us, and then you're going ready to say where they're going to, okay? So, for example, for the good chickens, right? There's some that are strong and that will last a few days in state and national parks, for example, that need them for ticks to eat the small snakes. So we are going to use all chickens as possible. Instead of selling for meat, we are going to use them in the wild. Okay, because they might become on a future, wild chickens. That's good. That's good. If they survive, for the good races that survive, that will be good because they eat those little creatures that we don't want, scorpions and little small snakes. They might be eaten, but maybe, some can go in trees. So we are going to do that. We are going to transfer all chickens. We're not going to sell them. Because everywhere there's a lot of state and national parks. And in some countries, they're really, really needed for these little creatures, I'm saying. Okay, so for chickens, you're going to use words, be strong, my friends. Okay, something for them to really survive. Eat and survive. And then you're going to sing that at night, go on the trees, stay at trees, because in some countries, depending on the type of predators there are, they might survive. The chickens might survive, okay? All right, we're going to pray for them. So we're going to say, go on trees, right? Climb the trees at night, before night comes, and things like that, okay? All right, because I'm really thinking positive that many will survive. Of course, we have to keep praying. So if you're a teacher, you're going to keep praying before you start your class. Every teacher can have a few minutes of prayers, right? 2 or 4 minutes, or focus on 4 every day. Sing strong songs, because when you do that, if you are releasing them, you have great power in your hands. You have to think about that. If you're releasing animals, you can make these chickens survive in nature. And if you're releasing horses, I'm sure you can continue praying for them to be strong in nature. We're not going to have that many, but some, yes. So, all this. So you're going to guide them. Eat, 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 and before the night comes, eat, eat, eat during the day, and before the night comes, go up on the trees and be safe. Go up on the trees and be safe. Something like that, okay? My friends, during the day, no. My friends, eat during the day, eat during the day, and be strong, and be strong. My friends, eat during the day, eat during the day, and be strong, my friends, and be strong, my friends. Before the night comes, go up in the trees. Before the night comes, go up in the trees. Something like that, okay? I will record afterwards because I really have no time right now, but you have an idea, start praying with them. Okay, so I forgot to say some words about the animals that will be transferred, such as horses that will become wild horses, and chickens and ducks, right? That some farms have a lot of ducks, and let's focus on ducks, not geese. All right. So the other thing, you're gonna train them. If you're a volunteer, if you're listening that, and you are a farm owner or manager, you're going to train them before they go to those parks. Okay, so for the chickens, what you're gonna do? Then the horses too. You're going to give them food in the wild. Spread some grains here and there for them to look. Mix them with hay for them to forage. Is that the word? No, to look for food around. So they have to. So you're gonna do different things. Look online for other ideas. You are going to run. Sometimes you can run. If you have a skateboard, for example, for them to practice muscles, have some muscles before they go to this area. So this is really important. All right. So if you have a bicycle, or what you have in your farm, or the farm you're volunteering, have 2 weeks of training. I forgot to say that chickens need 2 weeks of training, at least 2 weeks, 2 or 4 weeks, for them to be really strong. Okay? Now, I don't know yet how we're going to have them, how to learn for them to go to trees. So if you have some trees you're going to cut anyways, you can put some branches around, cut them and put around. And then, for example, you put water, and pray for them to go on these branches and wait there on the branches, something like that. Try to see what you can do, because that's the best 2 ideas I got so far. To pray, to pray, and to practice a little bit before with branches. Okay, so the other thing is for them to learn how to eat different things, right? Because they're eating only what? The food you give them, right? For the farm animals, right? The chickens. Okay, so you can purchase, for example, worms, spread them around, and don't give anything else on that day. Things like that for them to start learning. You can first purchase very small ones, for them to practice, and don't be scared, and keep praying. Eat, my friends, eat. And then you can purchase bigger ones for the following week, for example, right? Because they're good, and and give less and less grains, for them to practice on how to eat in nature. All right. So those are some ideas. If in your city they sell like crickets and other little things, because all these stores gonna close anyways, right? All these pet stores, they're going to close. So you can ask them for free and get these crickets and other things they have to give to these chickens. All right. Okay, so yeah, basically it's that. All right. And And try to bring them. If you have a big farm and you already have some woods around, practice with them. Go on that woods, for them to practice and be really strong in a state or national park they're going to. All right. So we're going to have some forms that you're going to fill out. And depending on how much you achieved with that group of chickens, they're going to one place or another. A smaller state park, for example, or a big national park, or parks with more snakes. So we're going to have proper forms for everyone that owns chickens to be filling out all details in how much you achieved on those 4 weeks. 2 is not enough. Let's do 4 because they need sun. Because in the woods, that's the other problem. They don't have much sun, right? But we are going to see the best practice with them these 4 weeks for us to release them. Okay, so if you have these woods that I was just talking about close to your farm or at your own farm, so what you're going to do? First, you have to practice for them to follow you, right? Walking or on a skateboard, follow you fast for them to have muscles, right? And follow you for what you are going to train them. Okay. All right. So if you have that woods, you're going to go in a small path, giving food and get out soon. And then the next time, a little more, right? A little more. And then next time a little more. And sometimes you can stay around there, spread some grains around for them to be looking for it and be foraging. And you can also spread some worms. First smaller worms. You already practice worms at the plain ground, right? In a clear area. So all these things, okay? So, and then at the woods, you have to figure out a way for them to go up in the branches, small bushes and things like that. Or if for the ones that do it, you give them more grains close by, something like that. You have to find a way to train them in a good way, of course, right? Without dogs chasing them or something. Or maybe dogs will work. I don't know yet, if you have a very good dog. But anyways, I'm sorry. But you're going to train them the best as possible for them to learn how to go on trees. And in some countries, what we really need is the ground, right? They're going to survive in the ground like ducks. But ducks can fly more than chickens, right? Okay, so basically is that, my friends? Okay, I said earlier about horses that will be transferred only to places that they have predators, so they will eat the old and the sick. I'm not sure about that because I will let you know afterwards. Because nature, somehow nature works in a good way. The elders we're not going to have sick animals. Everyone's going to be really healthy. And the elders, one day they will die, so I'm going to give an answer on that one afterwards. But let's say now a few words about the horses that will be transferred. So you're going to train them in the same way for them to, when they get there, to start eating the food that's available in that park. Of course, that they have some grasses and things they can eat. They need sun, area to run, and water. Okay, so you're going to practice with them. So depending on the park that they will be designated to go in your country, or it needs to be in your country, of course, cannot go to other country, that's already decided. In your state, or neighbor state, if needed, okay? So you're going to practice with them. So you're going to give the food they already give, mix with things that are from that park, and, slowly be transferring. All right? And I think about 4 weeks the same, right, for this transition. And and pray, a lot of prayers for them. So if you're releasing them, be in charge of them all the way along the years, because we need, keep thinking about them. So people that are releasing these animals, you have a great gift in your hand. Somehow, God make you a call in your heart to be there releasing these animals. For one thing or for another, continue to pray for them. Continue to guide them with your prayers, right? Okay, so at least for 2 years or so, okay? Then after it's up to you, but not to be attached to them, because we're learning on how to not be attached to anything, not to plants, to flowers, to fruits, to anything, not to be attached, but to pray with conscience. You do it, you're doing a job, okay? Not to be, oh, I'm your guide. No, not that, okay? Because that is God's work, right? But for 2 years, continue doing your prayers. If you work in a place, for example, everyone's going to be singing songs, right, in the morning, right, 7 o'clock, and for businesses it's 8 o'clock. So sing songs, and you can do your prayers right there for some of these animals, right, that will still alive, okay? Or the same way for animals from the wild. I'm going to talk, that's a number 2. All right, so let's say now words about number 2, animals. Oh, no. Sorry, before we go to number 2, we also can consider animals that are right there. The rhinos, right? They're right there. Crocodiles, alligators, all these other animals, they're right there, close to you, right? Of course, you have to be in a safe location, right? But they're close. Elephants, okay? So depends if you are in a river, if you are, if you are in one of these jeeps in these parks that they keep those animals. If you are in a safe boat, where you are, of course, you need to be in a safe location. But I'm just saying. So this type of prayers, the number 1 prayers, also work for those animals that are right there, close to you somehow. Okay? All right. Okay, so now let's say a few words about number 2 now. Prayers for the animals that they are not there. Okay, you have to call them. They're not there. So you're going to the ocean to get whales, dolphins, sharks, turtles. Yes, you're going to do that. How are you going to do that? You're going to call them, to be close to that ship, if you have really a safe ship, right? Because you're calling animals. Some are dangerous, right? You have to see what you're doing. Who you're calling, how you're calling. But if you're in these big ships, like fisheries, right? Ships with these huge nets, go ahead and call them. You can call even sharks and whales, you can call them. Because we're going to renew, right? Okay. So if they are smaller ones, such as the penguins, otters and sea otters and seals, walruses, that's a little different story. For walruses, you can even be right there, right? All right, so let's try. Okay, so you're calling them, right? So you're going to be singing those chants. Come to us. We are here to help. We're here to help. Come to us. We're here to help. We're here to help. So you can use, more or less the other song that we made before. Come, my friends. You can put the friends there. Come, my friends. Come, my friends. We're here to help. We're here to help. For some other animals, you can say, come to warm waters. Because if you say, come to us, if you have a ship, right, that will be safe for you to say that. But if you're not in a ship, you're by the beach, for example, you can still do your prayers anywhere you are on a planet. You can focus, you can plan ahead, do it with your spouse, and you can invite friends, prepare the song and sing is strong. You can do it consistency, for example, every morning or every evening if you live by the beach, for example. So you can do that if you live in a mountain, if you live anywhere, if you live in the woods, if you live in a big city. You can have consistency and do your prayers every single day. If you're a teacher, if you work in an establishment with 5 or 10 employees, 20, 100 employees, you can do that. Talk to the owners, everything with authorization, right? In writing. If you're not the owner, do your authorization in writing. Okay? All right, so because what might take 5-10 minutes, but that will be really useful, right? Really useful. Okay? So that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna focus. Which animals are you focusing? So, for example, for all these animals that like cold waters, you're gonna invite them to warm waters, right? And for the penguins, come, swim, you can do it, and you focus, right? And every single day, and then you're gonna do it with you can do even eight sentences. Yeah, the first ones I already said, right? You can keep repeating them, or other songs with some more 4 other sentences related to the type of animal inviting. Okay, so come, you can do it, swim is strong, come, that's not your place anymore. That's another sentence you can do. Come, swim, you're strong, you can do it. So you're gonna create the songs like that, okay? After the organization launching, they were only going to use the songs that are authorized. So if you think your song is good, you're gonna apply, okay? And we're going to, for other people to learn the same songs, because there are a lot there, right? A lot, thousands, right? Of polar bears, of penguins, walruses, seals, and there goes. Okay, so basically it's that, for you to understand, okay? So all those animals that you're calling from far away, how you're going to do. Okay, so for these kind animals that I just said, for these ocean mammals and fish, right? We are going to do this way. Now, for mean animals, we're not going to call them. That's different, okay? Such as snakes and other things. For snakes, you're gonna say like, die is no place for you here. Die, because we cannot call them, right? And we cannot invite them to go to another place. So you're just gonna focus, die, here's not your place. Planet Earth is not for you, and you no longer exist, you no longer live, and you're weaker each day and you're dying, something like that, okay? All right. And the main thing for those animals, for us to be really aware if anyone is shown in the agroforest, they're going to be planting, to just have good training on how to kill them. Done. Kill and done. All right? Because that's how we're going to deal with them. Okay. So now, let's say a few words about piranhas now. So some lakes of some countries have way too many. So depending how big is the lake, if they're not too big, the best way is to empty out the whole lake. Okay? Because if you're going to be fishing, it's going to be too long to fish. Get good pumps, fish everything out, and leave it, in the proper amount of days that no egg will survive, empty, completely empty. And then you get tractors, scrape the whole bottom of those lakes, and then, water gonna come naturally again afterwards. I think that's the best way for lakes, because some lakes, In some countries have way too many, and I don't think anyway, because if we leave one there, right, or an egg there, then we're gonna have in the future piranhas there again, because if they have no predators, so it does not work. In a river is different. We can pray for piranhas in a river on countries that have them, but not piranhas in lakes. Okay, so all lakes, not huge lakes, but all small, medium, and even large lakes that have those piranhas, we can do that. Let's pump the whole water, right? The whole water, and start like that. I think is a good way. And if the water, if they have a proper water source coming to that lake, they can divert the water a little bit, for those days, weeks, they're gonna be dry while the tractors are working. At least 2 weeks, I would think, right? Because we need to do real good job, so no eggs will survive. So they are in South America, right? Basically piranhas. So that's what we're gonna deal with them. So, and for the lakes that are too large, so we're going to use those very large nets, the best as possible. Nets, and then put bigger fish. I don't know what we're gonna do with them, but for very large lakes. We're going to say the amount of these 4 types of lakes, how we're gonna do, but for everyone, all these lakes that we can empty out the whole water and scrape the bottom really well for all the eggs, or just let it be, we're gonna do that, all right? So without water, eggs and fish won't survive, okay? All right, I said 4 types of lakes for these piranhas because we have the ones with water coming in and the ones without water coming in. And we have to work soon because it's winter there, so it's not much rain. So that also helps for the tractors to clean all those small lakes, small and medium lakes, right? And have it really dry before we can let the water come in again if they have streams or rivers coming to that lake. So I think that's the most sustainable. If anyone has a bad idea, please let me know. The other thing that we need to study is on different types of piranhas, because they have, how long they would last out of water and how long their eggs would last. Because if we have a puddle with leftover eggs, that already is not going to be good. So we really need to scrape and let it dry. So we might let it dry for a whole month or for 2 months. I don't know about these details yet, but that's the main idea. And of course, I need professionals to help to complete this handbook about them. Okay, so let's say a few words about the bottles in Amazon and other places. So because they have many stories about them, what we are going to do, they're also going to be on the extinct list. They need to end the extinction. They are not going to exist on this planet anymore. So we're going to pray, and with nets and get them. So you're going to call them, and we're here to help. The basic song is the same, okay? And then when they come, you get them, and then you're going to decide if the population eats, send to the market, and sell them. If the population, depending where they are, but in Amazon, all those countries there that have them in South America, if they don't eat, so they have to be cut in pieces to be able to put in the ground, to bury them, okay? All right, and if they eat, bring to the market. Give it for free, so because the main thing is to clean the waters and clean these species, right? And said you can born as humans, you can born for dolphins as well. Yes, you can born for whales, all these kind animals, not for sharks, but whales, dolphins, all these animals. You already can invite them to born as humans. There's a better place for you. There's a better place for you. Come, come, there's a better place for you. And then you're going to say, you can already born in humans. Come, come and born in humans. Yes, you can do it. Born, come and born in humans. Yes, yes, you can do it. Something like that, okay? So, I said about piranhas, that's just one example of the animals that we're not going to have, but there are others. There are fish with, with snake heads, and there are many other types of ocean animals that we can call, for them to die. So the whole list I'm not going to be searching right now because I have no time, but you, if you're a student, a teacher, you can get your students and make a search for your whole country or for the whole planet and have it available because you're going to need this list, all these details. Other useless animals are the octopus, squids, right? So there are many, many other animals that we don't need them. And for all these animals that we're going to call, we need proper information about them. So because we have to learn about them, right? So how we are going to call, where we are going to call them to, or if we are going to just, you're extinct, you're ending right here. We have, no place for you or things like that. If they're mammals, they have to born again in humans. Remember that. If they're not mammals, we can just pray for them to be extinct. Okay, so even, there's some very ugly animals in the deep of the ocean. We're going to call them. No more place for you here. End. Okay, because the ocean, we don't need, so many people say we need predators, the top of the chain for each one. But in reality, for many of them, we don't. Because we can fix things with prayers. And nature gonna adjust naturally. Okay, so we have, for example, we have tuna is a very big fish. We have many other big fish. But we are not going to have more mammals in the ocean. They make no sense. It was a mistake that happened a long time ago and nobody ever fixed. But now, united, we are going to fix because, yes, we can do it. Yes, we can do it. United, we can do it. Okay, so if you have the idea, remember, you have to work with a group with you. Don't go do prayer by yourself because to be really effective, we're going to be singing united. So get together, improve the song, improve. Someone gave a bad idea, get a bad idea because as soon as we launch our organization, we will have our website. You're going to apply. How are you going to apply? First, you're going to apply to your state headquarters assistant teams, right? Because we cannot approve every song because it's going to be way too many, right? With the days, depending how many people are going to be having this information before the organization launching day or even after. But for them to choose the best. So if you have a very good one, get it. If you know that someone is doing that same prayer for that same type of animals, get with that person, and then both of you gonna unite the best sentence and also have the bad melody. And you can be 2 or 4 people that will be the authors of that song, the music and the lyrics, okay? Instead of thinking, no, that's my song, I'm gonna win. Oh, that's his song. No, we're working together, we're working united. That's what we are doing here. So if you know someone, call that person. Say, look, shall we gather together? All right, so you get your group, I get my group, because we're already praying, you're already praying. I heard that you're doing this, that's why I'm inviting you. Let's raise our standards and work united, okay? So for all these animals, that's part of the group 1, that the animals that are right there, and the animals for the group 2, the animals that are not right close to you, okay? All right, my friends, so thank you so much for your attention. Let's start creating our songs. Let's start praying. Start first with your family. See if anyone from your own family has bad ideas of words or sentence. You already have my basic idea there, okay? And we're doing great. So I really appreciate your cooperation, and I talk to you soon. Have a wonderful and blessed day. And remember, we are all part of this planet Earth, all part of this humanity that will be better for sure. We're holding hands united, we can do it.